Come on in, everyone. Come on in because we are here to talk about Love is Blind, Season 7. And yes, you are seeing this right, y'all. I'm here for episodes 4, 5, and 6. I binge watched it, y'all. I binge watched it. I had a little bit of time today, so I went ahead and binge watched it. And then I saw, when I finished episode 6, then I saw the previews coming up for the next episodes. I was like, dang, I want to see those too right now. I want to see those other episodes right now. But we ain't got them, but they look juicy. They really look juicy. So we might be here a minute because we're going to walk through episodes 4, 5, and 6, y'all. A lot happened in these 3 episodes. A lot happened. I know some of y'all want to jump right to episode 6 when the stuff got really, really juicy. But you know what? By the time I got to episode 6, were you guys all that surprised? I wasn't. I really wasn't all that surprised. But first of all, I want to start talking about what happened in episode 4. We're going to start there first because we're going to have to go ahead and get rid of Mr. Leo. Mr. Leo and Miss Brittany, who didn't even make it to Mexico. After all those shenanigans and all that stuff they were doing, conniving, fake talking about they in love, they didn't even make it to Mexico. Good for the producers for sniffing them out and realizing they was fake in love. Fake in love. It started off with Leo trying to convince Hannah, don't choose Nick D. Don't choose Nick D. Because his whole plan was falling apart. Basically, all Leo was here was for some camera time. And he wanted to make it to Mexico to keep this thing going. And he said, I just want to make sure I have somebody I could choose to go on to Mexico with. That's the only reason he was talking about he was so into Hannah. He wasn't really into her. We already figured that out. But he was like, don't bow out, Hannah. I want to have options. His whole plan was falling apart. He was basically begging this woman to say, listen, can you hang on for some uncertainty for at least another day? Why the heck Hannah want to wait on you? I don't even like Hannah, but I know I don't like Nick. I don't even really like Hannah, but I also don't like Leo. And I couldn't believe he was trying to make her hang on. He was basically gaslighting her, manipulating her, gaslighting her. Oh my goodness. He was lying. He was doing a whole lot of stuff. And she running around here crying and boohooing, talking about she going crazy. That's because you're getting gaslit, girl. That's what it feels like when you get gaslit. You can't even think straight because you're like, am I in an alternate universe? And he running around talking about, what if I told you I wanted to marry you? Would you say yes to me? Would you say yes to me? And Hannah over there talking about, I'm so confused. I'm a 26-year-old confused. But finally, when Hannah was like, nope, I'm not really going to do this, Leo. He said, well, will you make sure that you go back and tell Brittany that I still loved her? What? Now that your little game plan is falling apart with Hannah, you want Hannah to go back and lie to Brittany? Oh, gosh. So all Hannah does is go back and start talking to Brittany and spilling the beans and telling everything that happened in the pods. You know what? I didn't like any of this. None of it. Not any of it whatsoever. I know Brittany and Hannah try to act like they was all good friends, but they was in competition. And they were low-key doing stuff to make each other jealous. It was just a fakeness all the way around with Brittany and Leo and Hannah all together. And, finally when Brittany was like, okay, finally when Hannah was saying basically she gonna move on. And she went back and told Leo that, listen, this is the end of the road with me and you. We just not compatible. Then all of a sudden, Leo has an epiphany. Said, yeah, you're right. We're not compatible. Nick D is perfect for you. And Brittany's the one I love. And Brittany's the one I want to be with. And he's like, when you go back, can you make sure that Brittany doesn't believe that she was my second choice? And that this breakup that we having right now, Hannah, was mutual. He over here trying to save face. Hannah's over here rolling her eyes. I can't even believe that she even sat there that long even talking to Leo. What for? That conversation went on too long. I don't even know why she was entertaining him. I think she low-key got a sense of satisfaction of having the upper hand on Leo. I really do. I really do believe that she felt powerful, kind of having an upper hand on Leo, because I didn't really understand why she was even sitting there listening to him, watch him seemingly grovel for her when she already knew she didn't like him and he don't really like her either. So finally, when he tried to double on back to Brittany, Brittany's like, let me read you this letter. I just want to read you this letter and let you know I really don't like you. Let me read this letter. First, I was going to write you a letter and talk about how much I loved you and cared for you, but then I scratched it all out and realized it wasn't true. Brittany, girl, what is going on? What is going on? And then when he starts confessing all his love to Brittany, he's like, I know you like to hear that when I tell you that I love you. I know that's what you want to hear. She goes, well, yeah, I really do like it. These two are a hot mess. I'm so glad the producers saw all this. Brittany from Baltimore, she a B-more girl. She probably used to some of these scams. Because this right here, they was trying to scam Netflix and the whole Love is Blind production crew. They was really trying to scam them, but Love is Blind, Netflix, they said, we done this a couple of times. We on episode 7. We know how to spot some scammers when we see them. And sure enough, they spotted Brittany and Mr. Leo. And Brittany don't even talk about not loving Leo. I don't even think she really liked Leo, because the smirk on her face was saying it all. And then when he finally did propose, I think she was just saying yes because she was happy to get any man to propose. Because really, at this point in time, that's all we know that Brittany wanted. Brittany wanted to get proposed to. She didn't want to get dumped. It's all about her image. She didn't want to have to go away from here and not getting proposed to. That's why she said, thank you for proposing to me so that I don't look bad. That's all she was doing. Thank you for proposing to me so that my ego is somewhat saved, because the reality of it is, I know you don't really want to be with me. I know you don't really want to be with me. And that's why she said, whether or not we make it to Mexico, or if we don't make it to Mexico, do you want to go to Miami instead? Brittany's like, I need to get at least one free trip out of this. Netflix may not pay for a trip to Mexico for us. But Leo, will you play for a trip to Miami? I need to go on vacation. I need a vacation after all this stress. Because when they saw each other, let me tell you, Brittany was not impressed with Leo. She did not like his looks. He's darn near sucking her whole face off, talking about how beautiful she is, how gorgeous she is. Oh, he was so happy he was married to the hottest girl on earth. They were hilarious. And so then they were asking each other, so you know what, we over here talking about how much you love me, Leo, but I ain't ready to tell you it back. Now you're not ready to tell him you love him, Brittany? After all this time, now you're not ready to tell him? She said, what is it that you like about me? If you really love me, what is it that you love about me? He could barely come up with anything. He could barely come up with anything. And all they did was sit around and talk about each other's looks once again. Brittany talking about, I knew you would like me when you saw me. And when you was running around here talking about you might pick Hannah. Shoot, what are you, an effing idiot? You should look at me. You should look at me. Good Lord. I mean, Brittany got breast implants, lip injections. Did she got a fake booty too? I don't know what. She got a whole lot of plastic put on her. And she running around here talking about she all natural. Girl, this is just too much. Just too much. But when he said, what is it that you love about me? And she goes, ooh, there's too much pressure right now. And I can't come up with nothing. I can't come up with nothing because she don't love him. She don't think he's cute. He ain't attracted to her. And she's realizing now that, you know what? This money ain't enough. Whatever money I was thinking I was going to get from Leo, she now thinking this money's not enough. And right now, the only thing that Leo got for Brittany is lust, because he's about to suck her lips off. Them collagen lips, he's about to suck them off. But when they seen what's going off and they flashed that little message saying that they didn't even make it to Mexico, the producers like, you not invited. You uninvited. You ain't coming to Mexico. So instead, they flew to Miami, probably to South Beach. She got her free trip. Brittany got a free trip, probably hopefully at a 5-star hotel. And then shortly after that, she said, deuces, I'm done with you. Deuces, I am done with you. And that is the end of that story. Thank goodness we didn't have to see these two make it all the way to Mexico. Thank goodness. But then we had to go over here and watch the proposals come roll through. There was a lot of proposals in the last couple of episodes. They packed them in. We had to watch the proposal unfold between Hannah and Nick D. We had to watch their reveal. And you know what? They kept talking about they done met each other's matches. And Nick D is over here trying to dial it back again, you know, because he's been walking around like he's the best thing since sliced bread. He's the football star, all this other kind of stuff. And when they had that reveal, oh my goodness, when they had that reveal, you could see right away Hannah was like, I've been catfished. I have been catfished. That's what you get, Hannah. That's what you get from early on talking so much about looks. And next thing you know, when she saw him and she saw that she was taller than him, she saw that he wasn't the jock she thought he was. He didn't have the muscles. He didn't have the height. He didn't have nothing. She was what you call disappointed. Disappointed. You saw it all over his face. She had the expression on her face like, this is a joke. This is a joke. Am I being punked? Did this man really pump himself up to be the best thing since sliced bread? And now when I see him, he's like a Toys for Tots version. She was like, I'm bigger than him. I could put him in my back pocket. She was so mad. She was so mad. He got the better of you, Brittany. He did to you what you were trying to do for him. The only thing is later on, you were trying to backtrack it, but you couldn't backtrack it enough. Nick D was like, too bad. I snagged you. I got you. And now we got the football star and the cheerleader. But instead of Hannah being the cheerleader on top of the pyramid, really, if you think about it, Hannah going to be on the bottom of the pyramid and Nick D going to be on top of the cheerleader pyramid. Woo, a reversal of fortune. A reversal of fortune. So all this time they was walking around talking about they were football players, homecoming queen and king, cheerleaders. But now we realize they just have the roles reversed. Because Nick D is on top of the cheerleader pyramid and Hannah, you down at the bottom holding everybody else up. Woo! It was funny to see her expression. It was funny to see. She was like, I ain't never dated nobody shorter than me. Shorter than me. And then she went over there and started picking him apart, talking about, you know, he got gray hair and all of the kind of stuff. She was poking at him. She was poking at him because she was mad. She was mad. She was mad because she said, you know what? You don't look like nothing you described. She was telling the producers, he lied to me. Good. He lied to you just like you was lying to him. Because in the end, Nick D just wanted a woman. He really just wanted a woman to walk away with. And as bad as Nick D was in the first couple of episodes, really, honestly, you know who ended up being worse? The person who ended up being worse was Hannah, to be honest with you. Hannah ended up being the worst. But the other proposal we had to watch the one between Ramses and Maritza. And that Maritza, she is something else. But before she finally confessed all her love to him, she had to let go of Bowden, the military guy. And she had to go over there and quiz Ramses one more time and start asking him questions about whether or not he can fix things around the house and whether or not he's a handyman. Marissa, what is it that you want, girl? I told you, Marissa is like this chameleon. And you know what? I'm feeling some kind of way about Marissa. We're going to talk about her later on in the episode, especially once we start getting to Mexico. But she's all over the place with what type of man she wants. She wants this man she wants to be dominant in the relationship. That's pretty obvious. So she wants him to be like this stay-at-home dad, but then he's running around talking about, can you be a handyman too? And can you mount things like a TV? And then she over here picking out things like Adam Sandler versus Will Ferrell, which one? Because if you don't pick the right one, it's going to be a red flag. And I'm like, girl, how are you picking your men? Adam Sandler versus Will Ferrell? Do you like the elf? Do you like the elf? What kind of stuff is this, Maritza? She don't even ask the right questions. Right before the proposal, she just found out how old the man was, that he was 34 and she was 31. What kind of questions you been asking, Maritza? You so busy running around talking about Will Ferrell and Adam Sandler, you didn't even ask how old the man was? So now she wants a domesticated man that knows how to fix things, but yes, she wants him to be a stay-at-home dad, and she don't want no real strong alpha male masculine energy that she's used to from the men in the military. Okay. But you know what? Bowden went home, and you know what? He took it well. He took the breakup well. He was laughing on out the door. I don't know if he was laughing to prevent from crying. I have no idea what was going on. But finally, she told Ramses, I done broken up with Bowden. And Ramses was confused. He said, you know what? I know me and Bowden have a few things in common, but I was confused because you said you weren't a real chill guy. So I was wondering why you was even liking Bowden. Exactly, Ramses. She's confusing. She's really confusing. And let me tell you, when we get to Mexico, she's going to be saying a whole lot of confusing things and doing a whole lot of confusing things. He says, you say you want someone more chill, which she is. But he's like, Bowden was not chill. Not one bit. Not one bit. And she's running around. So now Marissa's like, yeah, because I really am an extrovert. But, she really likes the idea that she can be around Ramses and she can take a breath. She doesn't have to be always so extroverted or so extra. And she said, you know what? Men have never really had a problem with my looks. They've never really had a problem with my personality. They've always liked that. But for some reason, after a while, all the men run from me. Because I think what Marissa does is Marissa doesn't tell who she really is. Like I said, she's a chameleon. She changes her ways. She's all over the place. Is Marissa a Gemini? I don't know what she is. Because she is all over the place. And I think what happens to Marissa is she presents one person initially in a relationship. And that's what men fall in love with. They fall in love with whoever she presented first. But as time goes on, the real Maritza starts coming out and men don't like her. And it's not because that Maritza that's coming out isn't likable. It's that the man she got with in the first place wouldn't like that new Maritza. Maritza puts on air. She tries to pretend she's one person. But then as she becomes comfortable, she starts showing this whole other side of her. Marissa's really assertive. She's actually really, really aggressive. And I think what she does initially is she acts like she's more conservative and laid back and willing to go with the flow and willing to follow a man, when really the truth is Marissa wants to lead. She wants to lead hard. So as she becomes more comfortable with the person and she starts asserting herself in the relationship, those men she got with who really want to be the leaders, they don't want to deal with her. So right now I'm really getting afraid for Ramses because I almost think Marissa going to run over him. She going to run over him, and I think she's going to even maybe talk down to him. I think a time may come when she may start to think down to him because, Ramses always talked about that he felt that because of his personality, because of the way he presents, that he's in touch with his femininity, that a lot of people have judged him. And they've also questioned his masculinity. And I can almost see Maritza doing that. Maybe not all the time, but a little bit. Just a little bit. I can see it. And she, later on when they had the reveal, it wasn't that I didn't think they were going to like each other physically. I kind of knew that they would like each other physically. And so the minute they saw each other, they were both very, very happy. And Marissa was all over Ramsey, all over him. She was like the dude. Marissa was like the dude. All she kept talking about was how good he looked. You look so good. Ooh, you like an Adonis. You this, you that. She was all over that man. She was like, give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. And she was like, he like a Greek goddess. He's exactly what I'm looking for. And she was already hot and heavy for her man. And they was chumming it up so much and kissing and loving on each other and had such great chemistry. Ramses almost forgot to get down on his knee and put a ring on it. They was back in the whole other room, and by the time he realized, okay, I guess I'll get down on one knee and propose and put this ring on. But Marissa, yeah, she an assertive one. She is an assertive one. And then she made this comment that I didn't like. She was like, I always wanted to date a guy like you, Ramses. And he was like, well, why didn't you? She said, because I guess I kind of judge guys like with you. And I thought y'all was too soft. I was like, girl, now you showing it. Now you are showing it. And she said she always dated these hyper masculine guys from the military, but they really weren't her type. Exactly. But what she did was she presented to be the person that those guys like. And once her real personality came out, those men were not interested in her. I don't know. She finds him really gorgeous. But I'm going to tell you, she makes me nervous. She makes me a little bit nervous Because although all things are well and fine and good now, I see the assertiveness in Maritza. I see how assertive she is. And I don't know. I just feel like at some point in time, she's so divided on what kind of man she wants. She wants this hypersexual, that too. She wants this man that is masculine, fixing things, doing all this other kind of stuff. But then she wants the same kind of man that's going to stay in the house and keep the kids. And the man is also going to listen to what she wants to be done. I can just see problems coming in on this couple down the line. Because right now they have a lot of physical chemistry, a lot of chemistry, lust, whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to say they're not in love because I think they are. But after all that goes away, who are they going to be after that? After that settles down a little bit, who are they going to be after that? You know, they're talking about they need to practice this bachata, merengue for these salsa lessons and everything else they're going to do at their wedding. And she was talking about how, people get mad at her because she don't know how to follow. The men be like, you need to learn how to follow. And she always be trying to be the leader in the bachata and the merengue. And shoot, let me tell you, Ramsey is going to have his hands full with her. His hands full. We're going to see more of it going on down in Mexico. We're going to talk about it. But he is going to have his hands full with her. And then we got to talk about the proposal with Tim and Alex. But before they got proposed, we had to hear one more sad story with Tim. He sure is a Debbie Downer. He going to bring a sad story. Tim is going to bring an old sad story. And this time he brought a bracelet from his sister that passed away to give to Alex. And once again, we crying in the pods. I thought Tim said he wanted to have some fun. Does he know how to have any fun? Because it seemed like every time he's on camera, he making somebody cry. Every conversation is about death and sadness. It's just so heavy. It really is just so heavy. And like I said before, I think Tim is the type of person that dives into situations, but he don't stick. He don't stick. He runs the minute there is a sign of trouble. He don't even wait for nothing else. He runs. And we're going to see that happen in later on towards episode 6, that he's running with a quickness. The minute anything goes wrong, he's running. Just like he did at Norfolk State with the band, with everybody else, all the women he's dated in the Navy, everybody else, he runs. I almost think, part of me thinks Tim is just doing a lot of this stuff for his parents. He talks a lot about his parents and his sisters as if his whole life is meant to honor them because they've just been they were so great in his life. It's like he's put his whole life is around pleasing his parents, his mom, his father, and his sisters that have passed away. And I wonder if he's really walking in his own truth. Because half the stuff that Tim do, it feels like he don't really want to do it. It feels like he don't really want to do it, but he's trying to be the person somebody else wants him to be. But once he gets there, he's like, I don't like this. I'm going to go ahead and leave. I'm going to go ahead and leave this situation because I really don't want to be here that much because this ain't really what I want. He's a strong starter. He really is, but he's a weak finisher. He is a weak finisher. And when they had their proposal and they had their reveal, he was happy what he saw. He was happy what he saw. And as Alex said, she is a thick baddie. And she was like, I hope it ain't a deal breaker. Girl, ain't no deal breaker. You looking good. You are looking good. And when he came out, he says, ooh, I knew she was going to be fine. I knew she was going to be fine. But when they saw each other, the dog started coming out in Tim. Ruff, ruff. Ruff, ruff. His old dog ways came out. And he said, it's the dog in me. And he barely could put the ring on her finger. She snatched the ring and put it on her own finger. He didn't get down on one knee. It was almost like he just took the ring out of his pocket and said, here it is. And then she just shoved it on her finger. It wasn't no get down on one knee. It was no proposal or nothing. It was nothing romantic about it. But she had on that low cut dress and she was showing her little tatas. And he said he couldn't. He was looking. He said, I'm trying to concentrate on the red, but all he could do was concentrate on them tatas. And she was like, look up here. My face is up here. He's like, he couldn't concentrate. He was mesmerized. The lust, you could see the lust written all over Tim. Them tears was gone now. And all them tears he had in the pause where he was telling them sad stories, it's been replaced by the lust. He was like, the dog is coming out of me. You better call animal control because rough, the dog is here. And And Alex was already getting annoyed. That little banter that was going on at this very first proposal, I was like, this is kind of some weird energy going on. It was a little cringy to watch. And as we can see, this little energy that got on where they kind of like pick at each other and poke at each other and do this little bantering. I was like, this ain't good. This is not, they may think this is playful, but I was like, I don't know. I think this is going to go wrong real fast. And like we see later on in episode 6, like we're going to talk about it, it starts to go wrong real bad. And Alex, she was a little uncomfortable. She was doing a lot of fidgeting with her hair. She was uncomfortable. I really felt she was a lot insecure around him. I don't know if she was thinking that he wouldn't like her. I don't know if she was uncomfortable with herself or her own body or whatever. But she always just looked so uncomfortable around him, as if she's just not feeling confident around him. So many people this season have so many insecurities that are coming out in them. It was a lot to watch. And the more that he was growling, talking about how much of a dog he is, she was getting easily annoyed with it and telling him to stop. And I'm going to give you one more time and you're going to need to stop talking about it. I was like, okay, girl, you easily irritated. You are easily irritated by this man. Why are you getting so uptight so soon? I mean, both of them they both got some quirks about them. I'm not going to lie. Both Alex and Tim got some quirks about them. And like I said before, I wasn't feeling good about them as a couple. And even when they were sitting here at this reveal, sitting next to each other, I was like, this ain't going that well. This ain't going that well at all. And then we had to watch one more reveal, one more couple get married and do the proposal. And we had to watch Monica and Steven. And here's another couple where I'm like, a thumbs down. And that Monica's a really pretty girl, but that girl has a constant need for attention. And validation and compliments. My God, it's nauseating, Monica. It is absolutely nauseating. She running around here talking about he's everything that she hoped for and prayed for. And they both are telling each other that they love each other. He gets down on one knee. He does the whole proposal. He gives her the whole speech. She gives the whole speech about she's so happy that he's part black and how he went to the library. Girl, his whole family done denied that they part black for centuries. And you so happy he went to the library to read about some black people? Girl. All right, Monica, if you say so. And he's like, well, I can already tell you when you see me, you're going to like what you see. Well, I'm going to tell you something, Mr. Steven. Let me tell something, Steven. When she did see you, I don't think she liked what she saw. Monica's just here getting married because, as she says, it's hard being 36 and being single. It's hard being 36. You could tell that when Monica was younger, not that she's not old, but she's 36, just like she said, she prioritized the wrong things when she was looking for a man. Monica's a very good looking woman, so she probably had a lot of men that liked her, but she was going after the wrong type of man. Now she done gone from men, like she said, that she prioritized men with really top-notch jobs, top-notch careers, who are well-traveled, probably who had all the material things. And now she says she's ready and she's comfortable dating Steven, who is a black man in a white man's body. And, he's an electrician. He's a blue-collar worker. And he ain't really, never really been nowhere, ain't done nothing. And she thinks she's going to be satisfied with that. Girl, Monica, ain't nobody believing this. No one is believing this. And she talking about she the type of person that can get the ick real fast. So she kind of scared about their chemistry if they going to have it. Well, we're going to find out later on they ain't going to have no chemistry, which we knew. And I think when she saw him, she looked at him and was like, this... I think she thought he had more melanin. When he told her he was 3/5 black, or the daddy was 3/5 black, she was thinking that he was going to come out with a little bit more melanin. And when he came out them doors, she was not happy. You could tell. She tried to pretend like she was. They had a fake passionate kiss. I know the difference between a real passionate kiss and a fake one. And let me tell you, the one that she gave him was a fake one. Talking about, I really love your curly hair. It's perfect. And she like, am I what you thought I would look like? And he goes, yeah, you were gorgeous. Oh, she loved a compliment. She loved this validation. She was like, oh, you want me to get up and do a twirl for you? Monica, sit down. Sit down, girl. And she's like, yeah, do a twirl for me, girl. She twirling around and she goes, let me see you do a twirl now too. That was weird, Monica. That was weird. Just the constant talk about looks. The constant talk about looks. He was all over her too. Like I said, these men is sucking the lips off these women. They are sucking the lips off of these women. And, you know, hey, two people. He said, he never thought he could be with a woman like Monica. You know, because Monica's running around always wanting to go with men who went to prestigious universities and have high prestigious jobs. And, you know, all he did was go to a 2-year college and an electrician. Shoot. Let me tell you, Steven probably made more money than white collar man that went to some of them prestigious universities, because electricians make a lot of money. But that don't matter, because she likes the title. She likes the man that wears a suit. And even when they get back home, it ain't gonna work. She ain't gonna really want to fold into the life of a common person like Steven is. She's not gonna want to do that. And he said they was ready to go to Mexico. He said he's got his full wax done, his full wax Brazilian. He gonna be ready to get it on. And they over here talking about they ready to jump each other's bones. Okay. But we finally made it through all those proposals, and then we finally made our way all the way to Mexico. We finally made it all the way to Mexico, and Hannah did not like what Nick D looked like. But now that she's in Mexico, I guess he looks a little bit better to her. You know, everybody look better when you got a little tequila in you and you in a fancy place and you looking at some beautiful ocean water and you at a fancy resort. Everybody started looking better. And I guess all of a sudden when they got in Mexico, all of a sudden now Hannah's talking about how handsome you look, Nick D. And Nick D is already telling Hannah, listen, when we get out here and we start meeting these other couples, I'm going to need you to keep what we do between me and you, because I got a brand back home and I don't want it to be ruined. What you mean? Nick D, who like to talk about all the women's and all his male bravado, all of a sudden he want to keep it secret what he and Hannah are doing in the bedroom. All righty. Okay. And so, you know, here we go, insecure, jealous, whatever, Hannah walking around. She just like a walking insecure doll. It don't matter what happens, she's going to be insecure. And she run around telling Nick D, hey, would you ever get me tattooed on your body? He said, hell to the no. Girl, hell to the no. I'm not getting you tattooed on my body. And now all of a sudden her feelings is hurt. Her feelings get hurt over every little thing. And then he said, well, I'm looking forward to seeing what all the other women look like. Hurt feelings again. And he's like, I'm looking forward to seeing all the beautiful women. Then he started asking her, you ever had any work done? You ever had any lip injections put in? And Hannah is offended. She's like, what? Is that what you want me to do? You want me to have my lips done? He's like, no, I think you look better all natural. Hannah's so insecure. She can't take these jokes, Nick D. You cannot come at her with these jokes, because the joking with her, it lands too hard on her. It lands too hard on her. And then she flip-flopping back and forth saying, well, the truth be told, he really ain't my type. I'm more used to men that have a little bit more muscle than he is. I really like the guys that are bigger than him. And she sit there and fake it for the cameras talking about, but yeah, I think I am physically attracted to Nick. Girl, no, you aren't. Not really. Not really. Because you know how you're not attracted to the Nick? Because you was turned off too fast. Just because this man said he wanted to go over there and do something silly like ride on a swan, all of a sudden you got the ick. Y'all love to use this word. You women love to use the word, the ick factor. And Hannah's talking about because she went over there and rode that little swan, he got the ick factor for Nick. Really? Really? That's what made you get the it factor? And then you was jealous over a 60-year-old woman coming over talking about that he gonna race your husband or your soon-to-be husband, your fiance. You was jealous over a 60-year-old woman. Girl, you 26. You should have looked at that 60-year-old woman and just laughed. She ain't no competition to you. You a young, hot 26-year-old thing, really? And you mad over the fact that he's laughing and giggling with a 60-year-old woman? Girl, you really insecure. If you feel ashamed, if you feel insecure about a drunk 60-year-old woman in Mexico, how are you going to handle things when you get around some young 20-year-old women and they around your man? Hannah. Girl, you're not ready for this. You are not ready for prime time. She sat over there and had a pissy fit over that whole thing and really did blow it up to more than what it was. And even though that woman did say, oh, look at your wife, she jealous over there. That woman was soft stuff with tequila. She could be mad at Nick D for not taking up for her, but she could have said something to that old woman. She could have said something to her. Oh, let me tell you something. If I was Hannah's age and some woman was talking to me like that, I probably would have said something like, girl, I am not jealous of you. You darn near could be my mama. In fact, you could be my mama. You could have put her in her place right away, Hannah. Hannah folded like a deck of cards. It was at this point that I started saying, ooh, Hannah's starting to get really, really mean. She's starting to say some real nasty attitude stuff. And she was starting to have a really, really bad attitude. Like I said, my thumbnail said we got jealousy, we got insecurities, and we got bad attitudes. And right now, we starting to see the bad attitude of Hannah. The bad attitude. And then once Tim and Alex got to Mexico, we started seeing this little bantering and picking on each other and the poking at each other and making jokes about each other at the expense of each other. Like, this ain't no good vibe. This ain't cute. This ain't cute and this ain't sexy. You know, Alex is over there talking about she used to wear bifocals and he's over there making fun of that. I don't know. All this play fighting, whatever they call it. You know how you be play fighting and turn into a real fight? That's obviously what happened between these two. And next thing you know, you start hearing about more like Alex. She's talking about, do you think I'm bossy? Because I think I'm bossy. And I used to have a problem with a short temper and I get annoyed easily. What? Wait a minute. You bossy? You got a temper and you annoyed? Why didn't we learn about this in the pods? That's because the whole time Tim was too busy telling all these sad stories, and he had Alex over here crying the whole time. He didn't get to know the real Alex. Alex says she bossy, she got a short temper, and she's annoyed. And I believe every bit of it. I told y'all I didn't like Tim, but let me tell you something. Alex, she ain't innocent. She is not innocent. She said that she can get bossy, and she really don't like repeating herself. And we could already see the two of them going at it. They trying to low-key act like it's just kidding, and they just kind of play fighting. But you can kind of see how this can go bad real fast. And he told her, listen, you could try to boss me around if you want to, but you ain't going to have no success because I'm an immovable object. This man told her I'm an immovable object. And I could already tell these two going to be going at it. They're going to be going at it because Alex is spicy. She got a whole lot of jalapeno in her. And I already knew who Tim was. This ain't going to be a good match. This is not going to be a good match. But he said, I'm warning you, the one thing I don't like is no woman yelling and screaming at me. I do not want anyone yelling and screaming at me. Because he said, if you start yelling and screaming at me, it's going to be time for me to go. And we see later on, that's exactly what he does. He gets to stepping. He packs a whole bag and he leaves. I told you, he's a good starter, but he's a weak finisher. Woo. But anything that he talks about, really, Alex is annoyed. He started talking about his dog, about how he wants to get his dog when he gets back home. And Alex is annoyed at that. Is there anything that Alex ain't annoyed at? She really is annoyed at a lot of things, y'all. She really is annoyed at a lot of things. In a lot of ways, when they sit and they talk to each other, it kind of feels low-key like they arguing. I ain't gonna lie. They really are already getting the vibe that they're going to be a fighting couple. And they're able to spend the night together, and he wakes up and he got Alex over there snoring. So he pokes fun at her over that too. Talking about, you sure was snoring loud? Woo. You can tell these two probably can play the dirty dozens with each other. The dirty dozens. And once again, she don't like nothing he's doing. She talking about she hate what he's talking about. Don't do this. Don't do that. She being real bossy. She got a nasty attitude. Alex is kind of bitchy. She really is kind of bitchy. And it ain't going to work well with Tim's personality. I already know that. Because like I said, he's a strong starter and a poor finisher. And the more that this part of Alex comes out, the quicker he going to get his feet to shuffling. The quicker he's going to get his feet to shuffling. And next thing you know, they picking on each other again, talking about gray hairs, and she picking out his gray hairs, and she got a bad attitude. And then they go looking for a hat and looking for something. And Alex started telling him, you got bad fashion choice. You remember the last time Alex told that story that a woman told him that the shirt was not good looking. He said he picked it out and bought it just for spite to get back at that woman. So here we are now in the souvenir store. He want to wear this hat, and Alex is telling him, don't wear that hat. That hat looks stupid. It's ugly. Girl, what's wrong with him wearing whatever hat he wants to wear? What difference does it make? I thought I was just not going to like Tim, but I'm telling you right now, Alex, she got her ways to her. She got some ways to her. And then we see when Monica and Steven finally get to Mexico, and he run around talking about, this is the fanciest place I ever been to. Woo, woo, woo. Monica said, I'm going to have to elevate this man. I'm really going to have to elevate this man. And I don't know what I'm going to do. But like I said, he got his full Brazilian. He said he ready to go. Monica's talking about she ready to jump his bones. And here she go. Do I look good without my makeup? Validation, validation, validation. I'm telling you, every 30 seconds, Monica needs some validation. Do you like the way that I look without my makeup? And then she goes over and says, you know what? I'm going to be truthful. Is Steven really the guy? Is he the hottest guy I've ever been with? No. And is he a guy that I really would go after if I saw him out on the street? No. We know he ain't, Monica. You just here because, like you said, you 36 and you tired of being single. That's the only reason we here. Because Steven ain't your guy. Steven is not your guy, but you're going to try to make him your guy because you just want to be married at 36. And then she's over there talking about, would you constantly want to jump my bones? Do you constantly want to jump my bones because I'm your girlfriend? Oh my God, the validation is just exhausting, Monica. The amount of validation is just exhausting. And she talking about his boner, and it's always poking me in my back, in my legs. Are you low-key complaining, Monica? Are you low-key complaining? In one way, you want him to think you the finest thing since sliced bread and how beautiful you are, but now you complain about his boner all the time? My goodness. And she talking about, well, I just don't want to get the ick with him. Girl, you already got the ick. Let's be truthful. You already got the ick with him, but you just don't want to say it out loud. You just don't want to say it out loud. And she's like, how do you like my six-pack? Do you think my six-pack is good? And are you happy that I'm one of the hot girls? Oh my gosh, Monica. It's too much. It really is too much. And he's like, yeah, girl, you hot, you sexy, you all that. And I think you look beautiful with your black girl headband on at night. He called it a black girl headband. He must have read that in one of them books he read when he went to the library. See? Remember the library you were praising him to go to? Well, there you are. He called it a black girl headband. Woo! This ain't gonna last, y'all. This is not gonna last. And then we got to catch up with Garrett and Taylor. They still one of my favorite couples. And Garrett is happy. He says he's having an out-of-body experience. He's like, he would have never approached Taylor at the a bar. He said he probably would have felt she was out of his league. And all of a sudden, we start hearing more about Taylor, how she like her alone time. Oh, my goodness, Taylor. I know you do like your alone time. I'm telling you. Taylor, we're going to have to get her. She is going to be a planner. She going to be, like I said, I can see Taylor getting a little attitude, too. I'm not going to lie. Even though I really still like this couple, I could really see them getting an attitude. And Garrett is saying that he really wanted a woman like his mom who is selfless. But I'm not quite sure that's what Taylor is. Taylor gonna take her time. Taylor gonna be into herself. You see, she wanted to wait 5 to 7 years to have a baby because she want to make sure she got time for herself. So Garrett, I'm sorry to tell you, I don't think Taylor gonna be like your mama, where your mommy's up baking cookies and sacrificing herself just for other people can be happy. That ain't gonna be Taylor. Taylor is gonna make sure she's happy. That's why she keeps trying to have these conversations about she gonna have to try new things and learn new things if she gonna want to get along in this marriage. Because Taylor knows she got some ways about her. She knows she got some ways about her, and she knows that that's why her past relationships didn't work. And she really loves this man, so she's going to be trying to make it work. Now, as opposed to Tim and Alex, where I think they banter is kind of a little bit low-key, mean-spirited. On the other hand, Garrett and Taylor have some nice little bantering that they got going on when they was talking about the whole scotch tape over the lip stuff. I thought that was cute. And I thought that type of poking fun at each other was actually fun, and it was endearing. That's a lot different from what I see going on between Tim and Alex. But they look happy together. They all snuggled up on the beach. They going, paddle boarding, and they both seem like they're pretty athletic. And he's just happy to be with this woman. I'm a country bumpkin. Now here I am with this sophisticated woman from Virginia. And then they're already just on the honeymoon, or this little rendezvous to Mexico, only on day one having fun. And here you got Taylor already talking about what life's going to be like when they get back home. Taylor, girl, live in the moment. We just got here to Mexico. Can we have fun where we are? But no, she already planning back home about the stuff they going to need to do. And how he's saying, well, we are going to both have to make some adjustments because we both are pretty aggressive. And she's like, what you mean? You calling me aggressive? He goes, you are, professionally. And Taylor's like, oh, yeah, you're right. I am. You're right. So he's like, you know what? But I'm willing to adjust my life for you. And he's willing to change his life for her. And they're going to have to work it out. But I'm still feeling very, very good for these two because I feel like they're going to be able to work it out. And I do feel that Taylor has a little bit of awareness who she is. Like I said, I think Taylor could be a little bit stuck in her ways. I think she could be a little bit bossy too. I think all these ladies this season could be a tad bit bossy. They really could. The men, on the other hand, are all the sensitive people. The men this season were doing all the crying, and the women look like they want to do all the bossing around and the running of the men. I ain't gonna lie, there is a theme here. The men are more metrosexual, sensitive, crying, really, really, really into these women, which is good. And the women have a lot more. They're still feminine, but they got a lot more masculine energy, and they like try to run these men. They be trying to run these men. And I see a little bit in that with Taylor, where she might need to tone it down a little bit. But I think she knows it about herself, and she don't want to mess up this relationship like she might have messed up some other people's relationships. I could see that in her. But Ashley and Tyler, they not missing a beat. They are going strong. Come to find out that Ashley was like, she has been celibate for a while. And even Tyler said that he has abstained from sex. And because they both were like, you know what, we tired of just having casual sex or, sex that didn't mean anything. It's really nice to see that these two are on the same page, and they are a strong couple. And they both walk around talking about, we getting married. There ain't no doubt about it. We getting married. This ain't no trial run. This is nothing. We are pretty sure they are locked in from the very, very beginning. And they was able to get their little pool time in, and they were able to get their little hot tub time in. And Tyler's saying, he got little insecurities about his love handles. And she's like, honey, you a man. You a real man. I'm loving all this about you. And unlike when Hannah asked Nick D, would he get a tattoo about her on his body? When Ashley asked Tyler, would you get a tattoo? Where's my tattoo going to go on this tattoo body? He said, right here on my heart, baby. Woo! Tyler got all the right words. He is smooth. These two is humming right along. I'm so happy to see. I am so happy to see this love. And he was trying to touch on her and feel on her. But, Tyler, she really holding back. I don't know if she just don't want to look like that way on camera. Maybe she's trying to be all soft and demure on camera. She don't want to come off maybe because her daddy is watching. And she's like, I don't want to see I don't want my daddy to see me being this thought over here. And he's like, I ain't going to do nothing too risky. I'm just touching your thighs underneath this water. That's all I'm touching. Girl, go on. He going to be your husband. You already said y'all getting married. Go on. He going to be your husband. But I think Tyler's trying to keep it respectable on camera because they still doing a whole lot of pecking. I ain't seen no tongue kiss yet between these two. At least not in front of the camera. But they going strong. They both get in the bed. They got their do-rags on. And then before they go to sleep, Tyler is like, let me pray over our families. Let me pray over you. Let me pray over us as a couple. Let me pray over our individual families, everything. And it was really, really sweet. And that's what Ashley wanted. She wanted a praying man that was going to pray with her and pray over her. And she like, listen, let me tell you something. She's so locked in on Tyler. She said, I don't care when we get back home. I don't care who has a problem with you. I'm going to tell them to fall in line. She said, even if my mama got a problem with you, I'm going to tell my mama to fall in line because I've made my choice. This is the man I want. I heard that, Tyler. I heard that, Ashley. I heard that. She says, I don't care whether my friends, my mom, or anybody have a problem with you. I'm going to tell them to go sit over there and fall in line. You're going to show up for me because this is what I want in my life. These two are solid as a rock. Like Ashford and Simpson said, solid as a rock. But where things really started popping off when we got to this pool party, when everybody got to see each other's couples and they all got to meet up and hug and put all the faces and voices together. And Monica running around talking about, Nick D was running around with that BDE energy that whole time. He better be really, really hot. And when she saw Nick D, she was like, he ain't even hot. He's small. Like Hannah said, she could darn near put him in her back pocket. And we see Marissa done woken up. She and Rams as she calls them, they done woken up. And she was like, that was some great hot sex they had the night before. They didn't waste no time at all. They got busy right away. We finding out that Marissa gonna wear Rams out. She gonna wear him out. He said he barely can sleep at night because this girl, she got a high drive. She definitely has a high drive, and she got a lot of testosterone. And find out, we think that Nick D and Hannah we think Nick D and Hannah have had sex too. But as Nick D says, we got to keep it under wraps. We can't let everybody know because he got a brand image at home. What are you talking about, Nick D? You ain't no pastor. All you do is sell real estate. What kind of brand you talking about? And he don't like to talk about it on the television screen with all the producers. Maybe because he's afraid if Hannah might say something about it. Maybe Nick D don't have that big D energy like he was saying. Maybe something in the bedroom ain't as big as he think it is. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why he don't want to talk about it on camera. Like he's so demure. But as soon as they get to this pool party, Hannah running around talking about why she mad at Nick D because he was flirting with a 60-year-old woman and he like 30 years old. He was flirting with her. He did tell the fellas though she was 60 but hot. There you go, Nick D. No wonder she was jealous because you been walking around talking about how hot she was. But when she was telling the story to everybody else, of course, Hannah was embellishing the story and putting some stuff on it. Unless they edited that part off, but Hannah was adding a whole bunch of stuff to the story. And that's not really what happened. It was almost like she was trying to make him look worse than what really happened. She really blowing it out of proportion. But Marissa don't care because all Marissa's worried about is how talking about her husband, how she and Rams been ramming it up in the bedroom. Ramming it up in the bedroom. And Tyler's like, he don't care about none of these people because all he running around talking about is how in love he is and he getting married. But it really was a fun pool party. I mean, we've been around for some other these seasons, and sometimes you find the girls don't like each other, the men don't like each other. The one thing I like about this season, and all the ladies really do seem like they having a good time together and that they genuinely like each other. It really doesn't seem like there's any type of beef or rift between the ladies. Their party seemed like they was having a good time. The men seemed like they really liked each other. And, Monica's running around talking about she thinks Steven is a better person than her because she knows she got a little mean side to her. A lot of these girls, I'm telling you, a lot of these women are a little bit bossy, a little bit bitchy, and they got a little bit of an attitude. A few of them, not all of them, but a few of them for sure. They're going to need to keep it under wraps. They're going to really need to keep it under wraps. But one of the worst things that happened was Nick D walked into the hotel room that he's sharing with his fiance Hannah, and he see on the dresser a whole list of things that's wrong with him. He was up here talking to the guys, talking about she had a whole list of all the things on the list that was wrong with me. From is it self-confidence versus confidence? Is it cockiness? Is he not mature? Is he not dedicated? Hannah wrote out a whole list of 10 things and left it out for the man to see it. Left it out for the man to see it. I tell you, Like I said, Hannah's something else. I told you from the very beginning, she's not one of my favorite people. She's still not one of my favorite people. And to be honest with you, I wasn't a big fan of Nick D at the time, but I'm starting to like Nick D a whole lot more than I like Hannah. Who would have thought that? I like Nick D a whole lot more than I like Hannah. Shoot, Garrett was like, shoot, you got a situation on your hand. I don't want to have nothing. He's like, I don't know what to tell you, Nick D. You got a situation going on. I don't know what to tell you about it. And then we got Taylor over here running her mouth, talking about she's still skeptical about men say a lot of things, but they don't do a lot of stuff. I'm going to need a man with action. Taylor, girl, loosen up. Taylor, loosen up. Somebody need to give Taylor a gummy. Taylor going to need a gummy because she going to need to loosen up because she is just a little too stiff. And I want her to loosen up just a little bit. Just a little bit. And Tim over here getting sauced up. You know he drunk. Y'all, Tim was drunk at this pool party. You know he was drunk. He talking about he just gonna stay smooth. He gonna stay smooth as long as he drinking that brown liquor. That brown liquor was making him stay real smooth because he was drunk. I could tell he was drunk. He was sauced up. And they putting all the men in the hot seat, but everybody passing the test. They got the spotlight on them. They asking them questions. Steven talking about you can ask me any question you want. And they say, how does it feel for you to be dating Miss Universe? They up here gassing up Monica even more. Monica needs compliments and puffed up from everybody. Not only from her husband, she needed from the women, she needed from the other men. Girl, Monica, girl, it's just you can't get enough. She can't get enough compliments and validation from these people. It's every hour on the hour. It's like clockwork. And they was asking all the men, what do you like about each other? And they were having fun. Everybody was getting a little bit of liquored up. And then all of a sudden you hear Marissa talking about we could all go to the swingers lounge. What? Marissa, girl, you are off the chain. Marissa is off the train. Everyone was like, yikes, girl, it ain't that kind of party. But I do think that's the kind of party Marissa want to go to. I'm going to tell you, the more Marissa starts showing herself, I think she may be too much for Ramses. She going to be too much for him. I think she gonna run over this man, y'all. She going to run over him. And they talking about, well, what do you like about Marissa Ramses? He's like, I like that I can hold she can hold my vulnerability and she can be soft and kind with it. But I hope she stays soft and kind. Right now, she's doing a good job of it. But something just tells me, I'm telling you, y'all, Marissa's scaring me. She's scaring me. I'm scared of the person who's inside of Marissa. I feel like we still haven't seen the full her. We ain't seen the full her, but she's coming out. She's coming out. And let me tell you, she started talking about going to a swingers lounge. And I was like, girl, it ain't that kind of party. Ain't nobody down with that. What are you talking about? And then you start seeing the chemistry, more of the chemistry going on between Tim and Alex. And they're talking about what's the chemistry between you guys? Why do you love Alex so much? And he's like, I love that she ain't scared. What? He's like, I love that, I could talk my shit and she could talk her shit back. That ain't good for longevity. That ain't good for longevity because sometimes people take it too far and next thing you know, it turned from playful fighting to you real fighting. And lo and behold, later on as the night goes by, they real fighting. They start real fighting. He talking about, I like when if I push, she knows how to push back. These two should not be together. They trigger each other. These two should not be together. And lo and behold, once they all wrap up the night and they go back to their own rooms, you got Marissa over there pillow talking with Ramsey talking about who's going to make it. Talking about, yeah, me and you, we going to make it for sure. And she was talking about she think Monica and Steven's going to make it. I don't think they're going to make it. They are not going to make it. Because that stuff Monica's talking about, she lying. She lying to all y'all talking about how much she's into Steven. She ain't into him. And she talking about there's an 80% Tim and Alex going to make it. That ain't 80%. And she talking about 75% Nick and Hannah's going to make it. That ain't 75%. Girl, your predictions is wrong. Your prediction might even be wrong with you and your own man. Because right now, I'm giving y'all a 50-50. I'm giving Marissa and Ramses a 50-50 because I don't know who Marissa is. This girl hides a lot about who she really is. And she lets little parts of her come out little by little. But when the whole part of her comes out, I wonder if she's really going to be what Ramses thought she was. But by the time Monica and Steven get back to their room, all they got is Monica bossing Steven around, talking about, get my water, get my slippers, bring them over here, do this. Monica thinks she the queen bee over here running around telling this man, get me this, get me that. And then he let us in on a little bit of the conversation she's been having. And supposedly she's been putting little bugs in his ear talking about we need to make moves for the future. And he's like, ooh, this is what I want. I need a woman who's going to be telling me to make moves in the future so he ain't got to think about it. So all of a sudden, Monica going to try to turn Stephen into the man she really wants. So here she is saying she really accepts him for who he is, the electrician, the blue-collar worker, the man that's 3/5 black. But lo and behold, what we see behind closed door is she's really going to try to turn him into the Ivy League man that's got the prestigious job and wants to go to the fancy restaurants and the fancy resorts. She don't like Stephen. She don't really like who he is. Like I said, by the time she gets to know who he really is, she's not going to like him, and she don't like him. So right now, what she's trying to do is let me figure out how to change him. She already telling this man the things he's going to have to do later on so that she likes him. And next thing you know, he's going on and he's talking. All of a sudden, the sound of his voice starts irritating her. And he's like, and she starts talking about, my gosh, can you be quiet? Girl, you irritated already. It's only day one in Mexico. And you are already telling the man, can you be quiet? I can't get a word in edgewise. And the minute he stops talking, she ain't got nothing to say. Nothing. No conversation. Because the only conversation Monica really wants to have is him telling her how beautiful he is, how beautiful she is, how hot she is, and how much he loves her. That's it. Other than that, she wants that man to be quiet. Be quiet. Oh my gosh. She says she knows she's bratty. She is bratty. She's bratty. She's irritable. It's a lot of irritable and bratty women this season. A lot of them. A lot of them. And the way she talking, she sounded real bitchy, real bitchy. So she told him to be quiet because she was talking about she couldn't get a word in edgewise. And now that he's quiet, she ain't got nothing to say. Nothing. No conversation. This ain't even funny. This is not even funny. She just faking it. So, Marissa, I don't know what you was talking about when you were talking about they gonna make it. They ain't gonna make it nowhere. They barely may make it out of Mexico, to be honest with you. But I sure know that once they get back home and real life starts setting in, Monica don't want to live the life that Stephen really does live. She does not want to live that life. And then we also had to watch Nick D and Hannah crumble like a Lay's potato chip. And she run around here going over the list of all the problems Nick D has. Talking about he's not respectful. He got social awareness problems. You know, he too busy over here being nice to the 60-year-old drunk woman in Mexico. Girl, your insecurities is overload. Overload. I'm not saying he did everything correctly, but what she's saying and what she's doing is too much. Too much. Nick D looked at her and told her, listen, I know you got a whole list of the things you don't like about me. And one of the things on your list was that I was delusional or I was delulu. And he said, let me tell you something. I'm not the only one that's delusional, or you are too. Nick D about to start fighting back. He said, I ain't going to sit here and let this girl Hannah keep talking about me like this. Nick D he's fed up now. Let me tell you, when you read a whole list that someone's written down about all that's wrong with you, that's hard to get over it. Nick D ain't going to get over it. He is not going to get over it. And the fact that Hannah is so insecure, I bet you what's going to start happening is he's going to start making her feel worse. Because at this point in time, the way she has made him feel, he going to be on the revenge kick now. He going to be on the revenge kick. And Hannah not going to want to play this game because she already insecure. She really don't want Nick D to really start doing nothing to make her more insecure. Because once he start, she really going to start feeling bad about herself. Bad. Like I said, they crumbling. They crumbling like a Lay's potato chip. And then we got to see the crumbling of the last couple. Alex and Tim. Oh, good Lord. Man, oh, man. It crumbled real fast. Next thing you know, we get a scene with them and we hear a knock on the door, and it's Tim knocking on the door of his own hotel room. Good Lord, you didn't sleep there last night? No, he didn't sleep there. What the hell went wrong with y'all where you had to go to a whole nother place to spend the night? Y'all couldn't even be in the same bedroom? What went down? Y'all, it must have got ugly. It must have got ugly. And he said, you know what? I don't even know what went wrong. We was coming back from the party. Everything seemed to have been going real well. Then all of a sudden, Alex's energy was off. Yeah, her energy was off because I'm telling you, Alex is moody. She moody. She easily irritated. I don't know what happened at that party, but more than likely, some type of insecurity set in with Alex, because I think Alex is insecure too. She always fidgeting with herself. Something must have set her off, and Tim don't know what it is, but it set her off. And let me tell you, once she set Tim off, he gonna be Speedy Gonzalez right out of there. He gonna get spooked, and he gonna be out of there with the quickness. And he must have packed his bag. Alex said, "You look like you was never coming back. You packed a whole bag. You didn't just go sleep in a whole nother hotel room. They must have had to get him a special hotel room. He packed up all his stuff." He said, "I sure did, because to be honest with you, when I did come back this morning, I thought this was gonna be the last time I talked to you. I told you, a quick starter, a fast starter, and a horrible finisher. Horrible finisher." So this man was ready to walk out the door right away. What happened? What really happened? Let me tell y'all, it must have got really bad. And I'm not even going to say that Tim shouldn't have done what he did, because it sounds like that as it got really, really heated, you also have Alex getting up in his face. She admitted that she's mushed him in his face or covered his mouth. And she also admitted that she called him out his name. I bet she called him the N-word. And Alex was like, I already am a spook person. I'll leave at the drop of the hat. This is giving me all kind of pause and concerned. And she started saying, "Well, you was trying to make my moodiness to be about you, and it really wasn't about you. I was just missing home." Girl, you wasn't missing home. You got in your feelings about something. It was some sort of insecurity. She is right. It wasn't about him, but she wasn't able to verbally express that. And so maybe he did think it was about her. And when he was prodding her and asking her what was wrong, she got more and more of an attitude. I want to know what really happened. I really want Alex to tell us what got her so far into her feelings at that party, because something definitely got her in her feelings, and I think it was some sort of insecurity. But I have no idea what he said. I have no idea what he might have done to put her in that mood. But I know he was drinking. I know he was sauced up. So I really want to know. And then when she was in that mood, she wasn't able to use her words to really describe it. But he already could sense that something was wrong, and she wasn't able to convey what was going on with her. And he's talking about, you know what? He apologized for the anger that he showed. Ooh, let me tell you, they must have been up in there screaming and yelling. Security, they probably had to go call hotel security on them. And he was like, he was upset. He felt unheard. He said, "You know, that's one of my things. Or when I don't feel heard, you wasn't letting me complete no sentences. Things was getting out of hand." He said, "I tried to cut it off. I tried to leave. I tried to get out of here." And then she was talking about, "Yeah, but you was also making me feel disrespected." Ooh, they was disrespecting each other, it sounds like, y'all. But it sounds like of the two, let me tell you who it really does sound like went the furthest. It sounded like Alex went a little bit further, because I think she admitted she called him out her name, and then she also admitted she put her hands on him by putting her hand over his mouth. Those two things are a no-no. I do believe that Alex was doing a lot, y'all. I could tell she was doing a lot. And like y'all know, I'm no fan of Tim. I am no fan of Tim. But based on what she admitted to and what he said, I think they both was out of pocket. But it sounded like Alex did a little bit more than she should have been doing. And he said that, you know what? And she said she kept feeling like he was yelling at her, because he was talking about speak. And she felt belittled. He probably did feel belittled. He says, "Well, I was telling you to speak because you wasn't letting me talk. So I sat back and started listening. And when I started trying to listen, you wasn't saying nothing. So then I started yelling at you, talking about speak. Oh, y'all, this was nasty. This was a nasty fight." He said, "You crossed the line, Alex, and when you don't cross that line with me. And when you cross the line, ain't no coming back." And he packed all his stuff up. He went to him another hotel room. He got him another whole hotel room. And he said, "You know what? I have to respect you, and I have to apologize for what I did to you, but I also got to respect myself." And he's like, "I'm not going to have nobody talking to me this way." And he said, "Right now, to be honest with you, I'm not even in the space where I could see you as my wife and child. And right now, I'm not even in a space where I could see you as my wife or even the mother of my children. And I don't even know if I could get there." And the next thing you know, Alex was trying to make it up to him. And she was like, come on over here, bossing him around. He says, oh, no, I don't think so. I'm not coming over there. Girl, you better scoot towards him if you try to make up to him. I don't know what you doing, Alex. She's like, come on over here, come closer to me. He was like, not right now. I'd rather not. I'd rather not. So she went over there and she snuggled up on him. But he said, I can't lie to you. I can't lie to you. When I came in here, he had the full intention that this is going to be the last conversation that they ever had. The last conversation that they ever had. This ain't going to work out. I said it from the very beginning they weren't going to work out. But it looks like this is going to crash and burn sooner than later. Sooner than later. They may try to piece this back together. But I believe this fight was so bad. So bad. I don't think they're going to be able to come back for it. Especially not with a man like Tim. Tim is quick to run, period. Quick to run. He's been too spooked. And to be honest with you, I said from the very beginning, he's not really ready for a relationship. He needs to go to therapy. But I'm going to add Alex into there. Because Alex is dealing with some stuff too. And all this energy that she gives off, I don't know if she thinks it's cute. This attitude, being irritated, being annoyed, being bitchy. This is a problem. This is a big old problem. And, you know, they didn't get to know each other enough in the pods. They so busy sat around talking about sad stories and death and always crying that they should have got to a few more things. And they not right for each other, y'all. They not right for each other. But I can't wait for the next episode. Let me tell you, these episodes look juicy. We run around here seeing Marissa flirt with Bolden. Good Lord, Marissa. Good. You know what? If Marissa had a penis, I'd be like, girl, can you keep your penis in your pants? Because this girl, this girl, we see Taylor and Garrett look like they're going to have a little bit of a fight. We see a lot of stuff coming up. I can't wait. I think the next episodes are dropping on Wednesday. So, of course, I'll be back on that Wednesday or Thursday, at least reviewing the first episode. But that's it, y'all. That's all I got. I hope you had a good time with me. I hope that you guys leave some good comments in the chat and down in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, y'all. Please don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you when they drop the next episodes. That's it. Talk to you later. Bye.